Okay, we're live. Hold on. I'm going to view it on Facebook too. Hello. Hi, Tanya. Tatiana, hi. So, hold on. It's getting a little... Okay, I'll just do it on here. So whoever's watching right now, I will give you a heads up. I'm using a software called Streamrite, so I don't see exactly who's watching the whole time. So it might be a little delayed, but whoever is, hello, hello, hello. I want to introduce you to my wonderful friend, Mary, who I met through this other moms community. It's called the Mindful Moms Movement Community Mastermind. And Mary is incredible. She created this community because she felt, and I'll have you, Mary, talk about it a little more, but basically it's a community of women where, you know, we get on a call every week, and the intention of it is to really actually, Mary, I'm going to have you share about your community, but all I want to tell you guys, you're in for a treat. Mary is somebody, when I think of her, she is so fun and creative, and she brings all that fun and creativity into her family daily. So I wanted to bring her on and have her share with you on how you can bring more fun and creativity into your family, because I feel like this is something that I hear women talk about all the time, and it's such a big missing for a lot of us with our husbands and with our kids. Like, we're always so busy, always doing stuff, and we're always like on the go, that, you know, the fun and the play a lot of times is missing. And, you know, if we're not playing and we're not having fun, like, what point is it to live, basically? But anyways, Mary, take it away. Just, you know, share about who you are, about your community, and then we can get into the fun questions.
Yeah, thank you, Yana. This is going to be so much fun because we are such great friends. This is just going to be like a fun conversation with us. And thank you for having me. This is such a treat. So I just want to share a little bit about me and what I'm doing with Mindful Moms. So I started Mindful Moms Movement. It's a community to really support other women. In here, we come in, just like Yana said, and we get on to what's called this virtual group meeting. So we see each other virtually, like all of us here on, it could be like multiple people, like from all over the world, all over the country. We can get on here and we can meet face to face and just share vulnerably about what we're going through, all the challenges, joys of motherhood, and really be there to support each other, to empower each other, and to learn from each other. And then a big part of the community is growth. So I bring in experts in different fields. Like Yana is coming in. She came in yesterday and she'll be in again this month just to educate us on how to empower us in our marriage and how to strengthen our marriage. And then I'll bring in a guest in the finance field and health just to educate us on all different things, parenting, whatever that is, important to us as moms and families. I bring in these people so that we can really learn more and be better as moms, wives, homemakers, whatever our role is. So that is part of the community. And then another big part, which is what we're going to talk about today, is just adding in the fun. Like Yana said, I am just really creative and my husband is creative. And so we thrive on being creative with our family. And so I feel like what Yana mentioned earlier is that sometimes as moms, we just get so overwhelmed with our life and managing our family that we just forget to have fun. And so in our community, I will post challenges for us to do just silly things with our family that are simple but fun with our kids and our spouses, just so that we can laugh more together and create those memories and not just feel like we're, doing the chores and the errands and all the things that are involved in momming. But yeah, so the community is just a place for us to really lean on each other, learn together, and laugh together. So it's just been beautiful having Yana in there and being part of this with her, and also coming in here today to share some tips on how to just add more creativity and joy into our family, like with marriage and with parenting.
Yeah, I love it. I swear every time I log into the group, I'm like just so inspired to go have some fun with my own kids. Like this morning I went in and I saw you're having a dance party before going to school with your kids. And I was like, that's awesome. You know, like, cause I'm always like, come on, let's rush out the door. But just to take a few minutes and have a dance party, like that is so awesome. So anyways, so thank you for bringing that joy into my life and my family's life. And hopefully, you know, all of you wonderful ladies will be inspired by the energy, you know, and Mary's energy, and we'll post the link into the community as well. So let's get started. So Mary, and you know, if any of you guys have questions, please, as you're listening to this, post them in the comments so we can answer them and Mary can answer them, because I'm sure that, you know, as you're listening, you're probably going to come up with some questions. So feel free to post them and we're happy to respond. You know, this is going to be about 30 minutes. So as long as it's in that time frame, we will be happy to respond. So Mary, tell us about, like, how do you, because one of the things that I hear from women all the time, I think it's like one of the biggest complaints that women have in a marriage is like, we get so busy with the everyday, you know, to-dos that we forget to, it's not even forget, it seems so real that there's not enough time in the day to have that connection with your husband, partner, kids. So how do you find the time to, you know, to have that connection with your husband and kids?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I totally understand. And I think it's so important that we just carve out, like, even if it's like small amounts, like small chunks of time throughout the day, like when we do have with each other, like in the morning, like what you were saying, like sometimes it's really crazy in the morning, like with getting the kids to school, breakfast, all of that stuff. And for a long time, my husband and I, we were not connecting before he went to work and before I had to like take the kids to school. And we felt that during the day, that disconnection go through the day. And this is something that I learned from you, Yana. Mm-hmm. And what you do is we started setting our intentions in the morning. So we carve out like about 5 minutes or so where we can like connect. So we hold each other's hands and we ask each other 3 things. We don't ask each other, actually, we just tell each other, okay, 3 things. So my intentions for today are what I'm committed to creating today is, and how you can support me is.
Oh, that's so good. I have goosebumps. That's beautiful.
Yeah. So I learned that from you. And because I was like, okay, so these are just really quick things that we can do to tell each other like what we're planning to commit to, what our intentions are for that day, and how we can support each other. So it's throughout the day. Mm-hmm. And then later on in the evening, after the kids are in bed, we reconnect again and we say like, you know, how did you do on your intentions? Like, how can I better support you? And then we just have our conversation then in the evening to follow up. But it's just been this great way to set that intention and to know what that person's up to that day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's one way. And then another quick thing that we do to really stay connected is, I wrote some things down. I wanted to add some fun to our marriage and just some laughter. And so we'll send each other memes sometimes, just some like really funny memes to stay connected. It could be like funny ones, or it could be like funny, sexy ones, you know, to just like add some laughter and, you know, get sexy, you know, with it. Like, I think I sent him one time a little minion with like wearing a thong.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
So something like that takes like a second, right? Like, but you can connect with your partner in this really fun and intimate way really quickly. So that's another way. And something else I do is before bedtime, I started doing this practice where I would write down, like I would have a Post-it note like stack like right where I was getting dressed for bed, and a chair there. And so I would sit down on my chair with my Post-it note, and I would write Chris like an affirmation or some type of like thank you or some type of gratitude for something he's done, or some type of quote or an affirmation for him before I went to bed, because I realized that I was going to bed with a lot of resentment. And to clear that resentment, I wanted to really focus on the positive. And so I'm like writing these things like every night. And then in the morning when I wake up, I put that Post-it note like right on his window, on his mirror in the bathroom, so that he can wake up to this like affirmation. Yeah.
I love that. I'm going to steal that one. You know, gratitude and expressing your gratitude for your partner is so huge. Like, we forget to do it. It's such a simple act. Or even telling our kids like how valuable they are and how grateful, because, you know, we are so busy in the to-dos of life that we forget like how much value we bring to each other, like for just in the simple things, you know, just him going and working and making sure that you guys have a, you know, a roof over your head. It's like we expect it, but when you can actually express gratitude for that, you know, bring more attention to that, and that whatever you bring your attention to grows, and your husband feels inspired when you do that kind of stuff. I know mine does, and I know that, I mean, it's proven, you know, if our husband keeps sharing with us how grateful he is for the little things that we do, we want to do them and we want to keep expressing it. So that's awesome. I'm so taken on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like that. When I started doing that, I felt like it was such a win-win, because it was helping me overcome like the resentment that I had. And also it was filling his own cup, because his love language is words of affirmation. So I knew that it was my responsibility to show him the words, like let him see the words, hear the words, to hear my appreciation for him. So it's been such a game changer for us, like that simple act.
Love it.
Yeah, so that's like one thing that I've been practicing. And then something else quick that I actually wanted to show you guys is, so in the evening, sometimes in the evening, like we just don't have that much time because we're already like so tired from the day. The kids maybe like stayed up later than normal, and we just like are so tired, we're ready for bed. Like we don't have a lot of time to connect. So we got this book. It's called 365 Connecting Questions for Couples. And it's really cool. It just has a variety of questions. Like some of them are deeper than others, but we just do like one question a night, and you know, keep it to that. And it's typically questions that don't normally come up in conversation. And so it gets you talking about different things, you know, other than like kids or logistics, you know, of like family stuff. But
like, what's a question out of the book? I'm just so curious, because now I have to get this book. I've seen it, but I haven't.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to pick one. So how do you feel about the pace of your life? Is it too fast, too slow, or just right about now?
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I would have never thought to like ask that question.
Yeah, it's just bringing consciousness to like your life and to your marriage and to your family. I feel like that's the magic, when we can bring, you know, shine a light and have those conversations daily, then we can live in an intentional way rather than just reacting to everything that's coming at us. So
yeah.
Yeah.
So those are some quick tips on how to connect.
Okay, I'm gonna just really quickly see if anybody has more questions. Hi, Tatiana. Okay, Amanda, Melissa. Hi, Melissa. Lonnie, Eliona. Hi. If you guys have any questions, please post them in the comments. I'm so happy you're here watching. And yeah, we'd love to, you know, answer them. So I guess what is like, I'm trying to remember my next question and I'm like blanking out. But maybe what else did you want to share with us about, you know, actually, I remember now what I wanted to ask you. You know, you hear a lot of people talk about like morning routines, evening routines, because I feel like, I mean, especially with your family, for me, like the morning and the evening seems to be the most difficult. And, you know, I know you shared that you have this like morning routine that creates a flow and intention in your day. So what can you talk a little more about like what your morning routine is with, I think it's important to talk about like your morning routine and then also with your husband and your family. I mean, I know you mentioned you guys share about your intentions and all of that, but what else do you do to make the mornings go smoother and really like have fun in the morning and in the evening when it can feel like hell sometimes?
Yeah, I feel like it's so important to have a routine and to know kind of what you're doing to not like waste that time, trying to figure it out. And so I definitely have this morning routine. Have you heard of Hal Elrod? He's an author of
I haven't read his book yet, but I've heard of it, and I'm like, it's on my, in my Amazon and my wish list to read.
Mm-hmm. Well, for anyone who's listening who hasn't heard of Hal Elrod, he wrote a book called The Miracle Morning, and it outlines like he did research on like what successful people do, and he compiled like a morning ritual based on all of those rituals that successful people do. And so it came down to, what is it? SAVERS. So 6 things. And the acronym that he uses is called SAVERS, and it's called Life Savers. And so the S stands for silence. So meditation. So I start with that in my mornings. And then A is affirmations. And then V is visualization. E is exercise, R is reading, and S is scribe, so writing. So those are the things that I do in the morning before the kids wake up. And it's like a guarantee for me. Like I always have to do it before I start my day, unless like, something happened and the kids like for some reason like climbed into bed with us and like my morning's like thrown off. If that doesn't happen, then I always like make it a point to do this. And it's just been so beautiful because sometimes my kids do come in and they see me, and because they see me, they are now doing it. And so, yeah, my son for the longest time, like in the summertime, it was so fun because I had my kids at home. They had more time in the morning, so they had more time to do these morning routines. And so I loved like watching my son get out of bed. Like he would come straight downstairs to the garage to the pull-up bar, and he would like do his pull-ups like right away. I was like, oh my God, I love it. Because that's what I do too. I always do my exercise first because that's like what I resist the most. I do first. And so so I do exercise and then I do all my other things in there. But that has been such a great way to start my day and to know that I'm making strides in every area of my life.
Yeah.
If I just make time in the morning to do that. Yeah. And then for our family, something that you just noticed this morning in Mindful Moms is that I posted a dance party after breakfast. So we just started this once like school started, because like, with all the hustle and bustle of the morning, it was just so stressful and the energy was like very tense and stressful. We just wanted like to bring some positive, fun energy back into the morning and to start our day off with just a lot of fun and laughter and joy. And so we're like, okay, let's right after breakfast, we'll just do a dance party every single morning. Even if it's like 1 minute, we're going to dance together and just like, let this be the start of our day and not like, get out of the house. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. And that's what it was. It was us like, just like rushing out of the house. Like, okay, we need to just like take a minute and bring back the joy.
Totally.
And so, so that's what we do now. We're doing that every single morning after breakfast.
I know this morning, my husband, like as I was making breakfast, he comes down, he's like, you know what? Let's go out to breakfast before school this morning. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I was just like, my brain as a mom, I'm like, wait, I had to pack lunch. Okay, we can buy lunch. Like all of these thoughts. But when we just went to Jamba Juice and got like some smoothies, and the kids were so happy. I'm like, oh my God, they're just in so much joy because we just got to be together. We're not stressing. We're not like rushing them out the door. And I was like, it's so worth it. It's so worth that extra like unreasonable thing, like a dance party or just like going on a walk, whatever it is, like just to connect.
Yeah.
So that's beautiful. And one of the questions that I wanted to ask you, because I think a lot of moms, especially with little ones, like really small kids, probably are asking like, how do I fit it in? I know when I was a new mom, like I was awoke, like I was so tired all the time that I would just get woken up, by my kids, and I was exhausted, and I was just like get into the routines, and that's it. Like I would not have time. Not like I wouldn't have time, but I wouldn't create time. And then as my kids got older, I realized how important that time of like quiet is before they wake up. So what did you do, or do you have any tips for moms that have newborns, or like that are in that phase of their life where it is really tiring with little ones?
Yeah, that's a tough one because it does get very exhausting with little ones. But my only suggestion would be like to not overthink it. Like, don't overthink it. Don't try to like complicate it. Don't try to like make it a long drawn out thing. I would just like stick to really simple, like 1 minute kind of fun things that you can do. Just even like smiling,
music on and dancing in the kitchen. He's sitting there.
Yeah, just like a 1 minute, just literally like 1 minute dance party will really shift the energy.
Yeah.
So I would just say like just don't overthink, having to like don't overthink trying to make like big efforts into to making the moments. Take advantage of like little pockets of time that you have, and then fill it with like something simple, like a 1 minute dance party or something.
I used to, when my kids were little, I used to go to this thing called Stroller Strides, and that was like my lifesaver. It was a group of moms exercising together, and we take the kids, like you go with the stroller, and that was amazing because I got to exercise and bring my kids, with me, and it was so awesome because the kids get to see you doing something, like loving yourself and doing something for yourself and really taking care of yourself. Because I think as moms, we're so programmed to like respond to every single cry and every single need that they have, which is great. But at the same time, like you also have to remember, you have to respond to your own, cries and your inner needs, because if you can't take care of yourself, like you can't really take good care of your kids. So it's so easy to forget that as a mom, but like that is the golden, I feel like key to being at peace and having a joyful motherhood. So
yeah, it's like that, filling your own cup before you can fill somebody else's cup.
Absolutely. So we have somebody that posted a question: how do you deal with hormones getting in the way and PMS? Do you have any insight? I mean, I know I can share some stuff, but
yeah, you would probably be the best person for that. I'm not really affected by, I feel like I'm not affected. Maybe my husband would say otherwise.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like my hormones like don't change too much.
I mean, for me, I get PMSy and I don't even notice it. My husband is usually the one that will say something. He's like, "Are you on your period?" So when I'm conscious, like it's just bringing that consciousness, and then, really like bringing that awareness to your husband that this is what's going on, and asking him for some space, asking him, to allow you maybe to be a bitch or something. I don't know. Not, but like to have that space and
to give you grace during that time.
Yeah, like making those requests. Because I think as women, we think that we need to like have it all together all the time. And sometimes it's okay to take it a little easier on yourself and really give yourself grace, and then ask the people around you to give you grace as well. So yeah, that would be my biggest, suggestion, is really be aware of it, and then share with your, family about it, and ask them to also be aware. So yeah. So I think that's the answer I have. I'm trying to see if there's any other questions.
I actually have another like ritual that we do, if you want that. Okay. So this is, we actually fell off of this for a while, but we were so good for a long time, and it really worked out well, is we had in-home dates once a week. Because we tried to like, book babysitting and all of that regularly, but it just like that fell off too. And we're like, okay, so we're going to commit to connecting for at least like 2 to 3 hours once a week as a date, like inside the home. And our kids are 6 and 8. And so we we gave them the responsibility of like putting themselves to bed that night that we had our date. And so our Thursday night is like our date night. And so the kids, like we call it their date night also, because we have like a little one girl. And so we're like, okay, tonight is your date also. You get to like stay up a little bit later. You get to like do a fun game or whatever you want. You get to hang out and put yourselves to bed. And then daddy and mommy are going to like stay downstairs on our date. And then we hang out downstairs. And then I made this little like date night jar.
Oh, that's great.
And so it just has numbers in it, but I'll give you this link, Yana, as a resource for your ladies. But I put together a list of 50 different like stay-at-home date ideas that are, I think they're all free. They're just really random things that you can do that are fun and creative, and just some of them are silly. But they all just like build connection, and it's just a simple way to like have a fun date like at home, so you don't have to worry about the babysitting. But it was a great like consistent way for us to connect like weekly.
Oh my God, that's really fun. I want to make a jar now.
Yeah, I'll give you the link.
Learning, about different creative ways, because it's all about creativity and like bringing it, and it's just that's awesome. I love it. I'm trying to think some other. Does anybody who's watching, if you guys have any more questions, or is there anything else, Mary, that you wanted to add?
Do you want me to share my evening routine? I didn't share my
evening.
That
would be great.
So my with my family in particular, we have a consistent evening routine that we've been doing like since the kids were babies, I feel like. We have like a designated corner like in our house. We call it like our reading corner. And we always sit down in the same spot. We read our book there. We like say our prayer together. We sing like the Barney I Love You song together. And we say what we're grateful for that day. And then we like give each other a big hug. But this is like just something like so consistent that we can count on every single night. But to get a little creative with it, and as a way to like motivate the kids to actually like get there, get dressed and like get there on time, we decided to change things up from time to time. And so we'll say like, oh, instead of a book, we're going to do like a story. So we do this thing where sometimes like each of us picks a word, like one person will pick a person, we'll pick like a place, another person will pick a thing. And so we have these 3 words, and we're all responsible for like sharing a story using those 3 words, and we like act it out.
Oh my God, how fun.
Yeah. And so it gives like the kids and us just a chance to like get up there and speak like in front of all of us, just like in this really impromptu way. And it just like it's these really fun stories. And so we'll do that, or what else do? We got these like story dice where it's like this dice with like pictures on each side. And so like you roll it, and then whatever picture is on it, let's say, I don't know, maybe it's like people or something. So that will designate like, you're supposed to talk about like people. And then like you can roll it again, and then it'll be like something else. And it's like, okay, so you have to incorporate all these little things into your story.
That is cool. And you have to share that dice with me. Dominique, my older daughter, she literally like every night, instead of books, she's like, Mommy, tell me a story. Daddy, tell me a story. She just wants to hear stories. So I'm like running out of stories to tell them.
You can turn it on her. It's like, you tell me a story. I want to hear about
it. So yes, I have to. Yeah, I need the link to this. And let me see. Somebody's actually sharing some. Oh, LA. My suggestion for new moms and me time would be to follow the baby's routine and flow. Love that. And then and look for that first slot of time. If there are babies who wake up late, and then that's your chance, that's your first me time. So I love that. To actually allow yourself to use that time without guilt to do something for you. Also, one fun drink to sip slowly every day. If you make it, sit, don't get up and feel the warmth and chill of the cup and slow down, or buy a fun drink a day. This so works for slowing down. I love that. Thank you so much for sharing. That is like such good wisdom. Yeah.
Yeah, just savoring
every moment. I know it's so easy to like forget how every little moment that we have, it really is a blessing. So yeah. Yeah, and it's been such a blessing, to be here with you, Mary. I can't wait to hang out and bring our families together and actually, share more tips. And if any of you want to check out the Mindful Moms community, we'll post a link in the comments, and you guys definitely should check it out. Get more support. That's another thing I want to add is like really create that support around you, because I feel like, especially as new moms, we feel like we have to do it all alone, and we really don't. That's why I created, this community, just to have you feel like you don't have to do it alone. Like marriage, sometimes we feel like we're the only ones who are going through whatever we're going through, but you're not. Like, we're all going through this together. And yeah, use this community to really go through life with, and keep surrounding yourself with people that will remind you of that. So so that's what we're here to do, and I know that that's what you're here to do too, Mary, and I'm really grateful for that.
Yeah, thank you, Yana. Yes, that's exactly what that community is for, just fully for support and for encouragement, and just so that, we can know that we're not doing this alone, and that there's likely some other mom out there who's going through the same thing right now, or has been through the same thing, that can offer support. And I feel like a lot of times as moms, we think that we're a burden, when we ask for help. But it helps so many people, like when we share our own struggles, because that person then feels like they're not alone, and then they can share. So it's just like, it's so helpful either way, like if you're going through something, or if you're like, providing support for somebody who's going through something, it's so impactful, like for everybody in the community.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I'll definitely share the link to the date night ideas too.
Okay.
For anybody who's interested in making their own jar.
Totally. I'm going to make my own jar for sure. I'll post pictures in the group, and if you guys make it, please post pictures. Let's have some fun. So, yeah. Well, it was a great 30 minutes to be with you. Thank you so much for coming. And if any of you have any other further questions for Mary or myself, please, don't hesitate to ask. We're here for you. I'm here for you. I love you. I appreciate you watching this, and I'll see you next Thursday. We're going to do Facebook Lives every Thursday at 12:30. So put it in your calendar. I'm going to start sending the invites earlier, so we can have it be, a consistent thing where we gather and we learn and we grow together. So I'll see you next Thursday. Bye. Bye, Mary.
Bye, Yana.